Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. And on Friday night, just before I called it a day, I tweeted this out that on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of importance, that this announcement by Ant Group was a 10. It's a place where buyers and sellers banks will automatically process the cross-border SME trade and payment settlements through the smart contract. And I know this is big. I just didn't have time to work on it yesterday because I really wanted to attend the virtual event that was happening in Japan with blockchain. I did upload one video yesterday, but it's Emi Yoshikawa, and she's talking about Ripple, but I'm so sorry, it's only in Japanese. The whole event was in Japanese. They just had a lot of people I wanted to hear, which was also the R3 SBI R3 evangelist, they call them. And there was also a representative from IBM that I wanted to hear. Anyway, there were a lot of interesting speakers. So I didn't have time to do this video, but I'm going to. In this video, I think hopefully if I do a good job with less than 15 minutes, you're going to really get your head around what Ant Group is. And I was so pleased to see that I got a response from Ant Group that said, you catch the point. Blockchain and smart contracts can play an important role in the cross-border trade. Wow, I couldn't believe I got a response from them. They are you talk about monster companies, and you'll understand when I really have a chance to explain to you what's going on here. So Alibaba, they are a group holdings company. Like SBI has 200 and some companies. Well, Alibaba has a lot of different companies too. They were founded in 1999. They have technology companies. They do e-commerce, retail, internet, marketplace, payments, cloud computing. They don't just focus on one sector either. They are C2C, B2C, and B2B. They went public in 2014. At that time, they were the largest IPO in the world, and it is now the world's largest internet marketplace. That is when you talk about profits. It surpasses Walmart, Amazon, and eBay combined, and they have been doing so since 2015. The co-founder, Jack Ma, he's often seen as the face of Alibaba. He founded this company, though, with 17 of his friends, some of which were students at the time, and they did it out of an apartment. This is their headquarters now, and they got that startup capital from SoftBank here in Japan, which was Mr. Kitao's old company, and also Goldman Sachs. SoftBank still owns 29.4% and is the largest outside shareholder. BlackRock also has a sizable investment. They are the fourth largest shareholder. So the Ant Group, which is what made that announcement, is an affiliate company of Alibaba. And they are headed for the largest IPO ever. Shares have been filed concurrently on the Hong Kong exchange and on the Shanghai exchange. They are completely bypassing the US market in terms of their IPO, which also caught a lot of people by surprise. The expected valuation would mean that Ant would be worth more than Bank of America, more than PayPal, and maybe just shy of what the valuation is of JP Morgan Chase. The core value of this company is payments. With 711 million active users, they are a money machine. Their main competitor, WeChat Pay. That is owned by Tencent, another company in China. And their payment app by WeChat Pay is the one that Trump intends to ban on Saturday, or Sunday, sorry, it changed to Sunday, along with TikTok. So the most current information I can find before I was doing the video now is that on Sunday, the federal judge, Carl Nichols, is going to hold a hearing. And that is because of an injunction was put through to halt the App Store ban, which is supposed to go in effect on Sunday. And there's a person by the name of Guofei Jiang. He's the president of the Ant Technology Business Group, and I know he's watching closely because this ban could take his biggest competitor out of the United States. And by going silent, wow, that gives this company a lot of advantage. Mr. Jiang studied and worked in the US for nearly 20 years. He served as the senior researcher for the NEC Labs. NEC is a Japanese company, and he also did his postdoctorate fellow at Dartmouth. Prior to his arrival, Ant appointed the Standard Chartered Bank as their core partner bank for some of their first experimentation of the blockchain cross-border remittance solution. That was back in the summer 2018. That first corridor that they played with was between Hong Kong and the Philippines. Standard Chartered acted as their settlement bank, and they handled the foreign exchange rates and the liquidity at that time. The system used blockchain technology that was developed by Alipay. And the remittances, they could be done in a few seconds. The payment app actually processed 17 trillion in US dollars in China on its flagship super app in 2020 up to the end of June, according to this Financial Times article that was written in August. I think you're getting a feel for how big this really is. In November 2019, the company beta launched their platform to help the SMEs, the small to medium-sized enterprises, the businesses. And it can support a billion transactions daily, plus 100,000 cross-chain information processing per second. So it is really something that's set out to resolve the trust issues across 40 different sectors, including cross-border remittances. Mostly, it has a focus on the trade finance. Ant is going to carefully select those who will be able to run the network nodes. As I have read in a few of the articles, they're very cautious as to who they are going to choose to help them so that they can help these SMEs. 1 million is their goal within the next 3 years. So the solution, this blockchain solution, is proprietary, and it is permissioned, and it supports Solidity, as well as other smart contracts. Solidity was requested by the SMEs and developers to begin with because, well, people are familiar with it, and that's because of Ethereum. But it does plan to add more smart languages. When Ant was asked if it was a customized version of Ethereum, Ant said, no, it is not. Mr. Jiang said 2020 will be the year when blockchain becomes deeply integrated with the industry. I think he is absolutely correct. There are 3 kanji characters that are key to this technology. They sound like this.
双面通，双面通。
It means dual or double link. And in March 2020 of this year, the UN recommended that the Ant double link was something they thought the world should adopt, due to the feature that the SMEs could apply for loans from banks with accounts receivable on the chain to help them cope with a shortage of funds that could occur during these very challenging times. In April 2020, the team of Ant teamed up with China's Everbright Bank. This is one of the first banks to integrate into this dual chain connection platform to perform the blockchain-driven supply chain financing for these SMEs. So the reason why this platform is so important for those small to medium-sized enterprises is because it reduces their risk in getting paid. They can customize the payment process. So you can break it up into small, smart contracts or whatever you want to do. You can also take out loans when it's needed to bridge between seasons or to solve a cash flow problem. China Everbright Bank, they're a full service bank. They do pensions, loans, insurance, individual accounts, SME accounts, up to big corporate accounts. They are invested by the Central Huijin Investment Company, which is owned by the government of the People's Republic of China. They are the largest shareholder. And it is supervised by the State Council, the central government, headquartered in Beijing. They also do gold leasing, which I thought was interesting. Yeah, that gold leasing is for borrowing short-term funds, maybe to make payroll or to make rent. I was looking through all their services. They do everything. So banks and financial institutions can become members of this blockchain alliance. I'm actually on GitHub, which is really good to look at the details. It breaks it down. So the banks can become members, and they can establish secure and privacy-protected data connections with third-party data sources and media through what they call their Ant MOS. So these fund settlement services on the platform, this is a blockchain as a service developed by Ant, or what you sometimes see is a capital B, 2 small a's, and 1 big S. So blockchain as a software service. They have this one-click deployment. It's customizable. It's running on nodes, so it's decentralized architecture, has no central control. It has all that traceability. It has the capability of an audit trail. And on the 1st of August, Mr. Jiang expected 10 million active applications would appear at the opening. So in a nutshell, this blockchain achieves the entire life cycle of accounts receivable confirmations, financing when needed, clearing and settlement on the chain instead of business deposits, helps companies collaborate with no centralized system. It's credible because there is this non-tampering data set. They have the programmable smart contracts to move money through the supply chain. It's private, it's secure, it's compliant. And I want to just show you a quick little video. You're going to see here this tiny little block in the beginning. It is the nucleus of the blockchain. And then it takes the assets that were isolated and it links them together. Hundreds of millions of products linked on the chain, traced with ease. Very similar to what VeChain is doing. And it does it with the movements that occur all over the world. It also can create digital copyrights for artists and creators to stop infringement or knockoffs. And when businesses are linked by the chain, trade across the horizons can happen immediately. You'll see a tiny bit of English translation at the bottom. It's a little bit difficult to see, but I think I'll put a link to this. It's on the AntChain group website. I'll put a link to it in the description below, but let's have a quick look at this.
这个小小的区块是蚂蚁链里原子级的存在，它看似简单，却能让原本孤立的价值产生链接。当数亿商品被链接，遍布全球的行走轨迹都安心可查。当一笔一画被链接，匠心神韵再也无惧侵权。
Oh, that's really rare for me. Wow. Super rare for me to have. I don't have that many windows open. Wow. Not sure why.
也能感受人性的善良。
Kind of bad connection right now. Not really sure why. Hadn't run into that before. Well, I don't need to continue. If it stops again, it stops. I'm not sure why the connection is poor right now, but hopefully you have a really good idea as to what it is they just launched. And so let's jump to the fluff. I did get done yesterday a new moon viewing portion of the Coil Fluff site. So I'm thinking if you are wanting to see my collection of images and a little bit of explanation about moon viewing and the history in Japan, do find the link to that in the description also. But what I really want to do is point out this young man here, Tanaka Tatsuya. He is an artist that's working in miniatures, and he's doing so with the most amazing creativity. His Instagram is a great place to look, but I just could not stop in choosing some of his examples of what he does. So here you can see these little metal clips. Well, he's turned them into seats in a miniature world that looks so real. And here you can see that he took a camera and created a barbecue scene in the backyard with with a lot of things grilling on top of the lens of that camera. How creative. Or how about a board meeting at the convenience of using, I don't know what these are. These are like a pastry filled with chocolate. Just crazy stuff, right? Crazy but creative. Here we have a ramen wall being climbed. Oh, they just get better and better. This one is entitled Social Distancing. And the last one to show you maybe is my favorite, doing surgery on the cracked glass of a smartphone. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.